I'm Sarah, this is Abby, and welcome to A Swool Unlimited. I'm a scuba instructor, and I lived in my van for a little over 3 years after living abroad as a dive shop owner. Now I'm living in an old sailboat with the hopes of sailing and diving around the Pacific Northwest and beyond. On this channel, you'll get scuba lessons, dive site explorations, and sailing adventures. Join the community here on YouTube or come diving with me around the world on one of my expeditions. This feels so weird. I've stripped her of some of the electrical components. The refrigerator is gone, so I have a clear space here between the seats. Taken out all of my clothing. There's like no food in here now. I had to like pack snacks because I'm so used to having my full kitchen here. Oh, it's so weird. Today I am trying out doubles for the first time. So 2 tanks on my back. Somehow I've gotten through my entire career as a scuba diver, 10 plus years, cave diving, tech diving, and I've never tried them before. My friend Andrew, who is also a Patreon supporter, has all of the extra gear, so he invited me along. He's gonna show me the ropes, and hopefully I don't flounder too much. Vamonos.
Oh god. Those are gorgeous.
I know.
Oh, look at that.
What? Okay, so what are we doing?
So, very similar to the side mount configuration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello camera.
Hello.
The only difference is just the length of the hoses.
Okay.
So obviously the lollipop is not a thing.
Yep.
Yep, because you can't see.
Can't see it, yep.
Mm-hmm. And then,
low pressure hoses
yep.
too, right?
So the low pressure, if this is the left post, yeah, we're gonna have the alternate going straight across.
Okay.
We shall attach your necklace. On doubles, it's either 20 or 22.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Andrew, can you handle it?
Yes.
Yep, we're getting tools for the boat. Boat. Thank you.
And we need a port plug.
Okay, necklace, dry suit, SPG. And then we're going over to this one for the long hose and wing.
Wing. Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! We actually need that high pressure port now, right?
Yes.
An incredibly organized system of coffee can.
As long as it's in one spot.
Don Francisco's.
So when it's sitting like this, we want it pointed straight down.
Okay.
Rather than out, because then you're going to introduce this kink
Yep.
in the hose. So
Cool.
to the point where I can pop out of it in the water.
Okay.
And that's just to bring the entire plate down.
Okay.
But let's see here. Okay, so we now, because it's the Halcyon makes a short back plate.
I'm being the student today.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah, I should be able to get that in. Get that on with the dry suit.
Yep.
So,
Yep. The crotch strap is way too long.
yeah.
Hey Sarah.
Hi. What's that for?
This is to keep whatever you have here.
Mm-hmm.
So your battery canister, whatever,
Okay.
from just sliding right off
Okay.
whenever you take it off.
Yeah.
But for you, I have a long hose retainer stick
Okay.
here so that you have a place to hook in your long hose.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Super.
next? This is cute. So you've got a blue and pink wing.
Yeah. Yep.
Adorable with your pink fins.
With my pink fins and my pink H's.
Oh,
Mhm.
snap. You've spent a lot of money. Like, just a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
So
fancy
you have a
pants
flow
one.
limiter, right?
Yep, I have a flow limiter. Well, I calibrated it. We're all good to go for today. Throw it on the din. That. Connect, and then, yeah, just roll the valve on and then off.
Wow.
And you can see it
that
go.
is really nice.
If you don't think you remember, just push OK.
I've got clip weights that I can bring if we want to have those as
It's only going to be an issue if you run these cylinders
empty.
empty.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're putting it in the tail right there.
Yes. Yep.
These are so cool.
Yep, so it's just right here in the tail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then
and then
wing goes on.
add the wing, little, and then lastly,
And there's different levels, right? So you can have the plate higher or lower on the body.
Not for the Halcyon.
Not for the Halcyon. Okay, JK,
Yep.
take that away.
Halcyon, one hole,
Okay,
that's all you get.
okay.
Now we're doing regs. So, the way we are taught is the long hose side goes on first
Okay.
because you always want the necklace above the whatever hoses are going. So
that's on this one.
yes, on the right post.
Okay, and it goes at an angle, correct?
So
Like that?
Yeah, so like that.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah. Are these Worthingtons or are they pressed
These are
steel?
Worthingtons.
Worthingtons.
Love Worthingtons. I have one.
You guys know so much more about gear than I do. If you had just said that name, I'd be like, yeah,
Yes.
totally.
In hindsight,
You're like Worthington. It sounds like a she
Favors.
pinkies up kind of person, right?
Honestly, no, it sounds like those
Favors
butterscotch
would
candies.
probably be better.
Yeah.
The SB just clips off to
Okay.
the left hip D-ring.
I like
So that is a set of doubles
Sick.
assembled.
Nice. This video is brought to you by Dan. Divers Alert Network has all the gear you need to be as safe as possible in the water. I always keep my O2 kit and spare O2 bottle in my van for dive days, just in case of emergency. I recommend people have oxygen when they are out shore diving with buddies, and Dan has different size kits designed to fit your diving needs. Check out their shop with the link in the description below.
Oh my god. Yeah. Back there. Retainer, so that goes under the stick. Alright. That goes up and around. And pull. Okay. Cool. Undo. It's your workout.
Got that. Woo! I feel like I should do some, like... This is Mukilteo Community Beach Park. It's a popular dive site north of Seattle and Edmonds, known for its Geodome. Parking is paid, and as of summer 2024, there are porta potties in the parking lot.
Pro tip, walk sideways.
I was nervous about walking down to the water with all this weight, but it actually wasn't too bad. I'm not someone who does heavy weightlifting, so this is outside of my comfort zone. Also, this equipment would not be appropriate for anyone with shoulder, neck, or back issues. It felt like it was pulling on and compressing my spine in all the wrong ways. The solution may simply be a matter of fitting the harness perfectly to my body and building up muscles to carry the weight better.
We've got a diver down.
Similarly to all dive sites in the Puget Sound, the tidal exchange can be drastic, so the depth of the Geodome can vary substantially, but it is well within recreational limits. I started my technical diving career in Mexico, where side mount is the preferred configuration. Since then, I've enjoyed solo diving with 2 tanks and recreational diving with 1. I haven't been super interested in trying doubles simply because of the weight of the gear and my lack of space in the van. That being said, there are places, like anywhere where there's shore diving with waves, where it definitely makes more sense to use that setup if you want to dive with 2 tanks. As I've always said, we all have our preferences and reasons for diving the gear we like. Scuba equipment is designed to be a tool to do the things you want underwater, so understanding your goals is the first step toward picking the right gear for the job. Then, it's best to ask for help and guidance, either in the form of a course or an experienced dive buddy, to learn how to safely use said gear. Personally, I always feel like a toddler when I get into new equipment, so it's nice to try new things out with people I trust. We started the dive at the Geodome. I worked on my buoyancy by playing with different trim positions and swimming through the gaps in the dome. I felt very comfortable in the gear underwater. I would have loved to have heavier fins, but that's how I feel about diving in a dry suit, regardless of the configuration. My fins are OMS slipstreams, which I love for wetsuit diving, but I like a short, heavy fin for dry suit diving. Stay through to the end of the video to hear a full review of my experience in this configuration. The rest of the dive was spent exploring the tubes and sand throughout the dive site, while part of our dive team looked for viable crabs for dinner. People often ask me what I think about hunting and fishing, and while I've been a vegetarian for well over a decade, I think if you're gonna eat the stuff, this is the best way to go about it. There is no way to know if the seafood you buy is sustainable, even when it has all the packaging and everything. The only way you can know is if you or your trustworthy friend actually hunts, fishes the thing, and brings it to you. In my Patreon book club, we've been reading a book called The Outlaw Ocean, in which the author covers all the ways fishing and transportation skirt ocean conservation rules and human rights regulations. This has been a topic of interest for me recently because if I decide to cruise with my sailboat, I may get into spearfishing to supplement my diet when grocery stores are not as readily accessible. It's not something I take lightly. I don't like the idea of taking a life to sustain me. However, if I do go that route, you know I'll be bringing you on that journey to share what I learned. Now, finishing the dive and getting out of the water was a bit of a different story. As with all diving, your energy levels drop throughout the dive as you burn calories. So by the end, I was positively wrecked as I trudged up to the car. I did not make that job look easy.
I mean, I fake it till I make it, baby. The main problem I have, I want to go like upright a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I'm going backwards.
Still loving the doubles?
So great. My back really loves them.
Dig deep, dig deep.
Almost there.
Whew. Verdict. It is really hot in here. I'm gonna get my regulators set up for side mount diving again and tell you how it went. Honestly, it wasn't bad. Like, that's the truth. Would I use that as my preferred kit? Probably not. However, the one thing that I did really enjoy is how stable it is in the water. I actually felt quite comfortable straight away. Really. Like it took me a couple of moments to sort of shake out like the harness and things. It wasn't like a perfect fit, right? We did it in a couple of minutes in the parking lot. So if it shifted a little bit, I would like lean the way that the tanks were going, right? But aside from that, it was very stable. And what I liked is when I was filming, it felt very, like I did not feel like I was moving very much at all. When I go for like a macro shot, I have a hard time with editing it in post because I move enough. Like it's zoomed in so much that even small movements look like a lot, but it felt like I was really stable. So that's really cool. Did like the weighting situation where you could put weight at the very bottom of the tanks. So that helped a lot. What else? I turtled a couple of times just to see what that sensation would be like. And it wasn't too unlike the feeling of going upside down with a dry suit where your feet are getting away from you and you have to like somersault to get the air back in the right place to be able to release it. It was kind of like that where you just have to quickly move, you know, shift and do a little barrel roll and that will right yourself. So I really liked it. I know that a lot of people who, oh, why did I plug that, you dum-dum? Oh gosh, I'm really tired. A lot of people have struggled with doubles just because of you know, positioning of the tanks and everything, I think I was very fortunate in that I was diving with two people who are the same height as me, or pretty much the same height. That's the biggest complaint that I hear from people going into that configuration. A lot of the divers tend to be very large men. And so those instructors or those people who are teaching others don't know what small people need. And so I straight away got all of the tips for being a small person in a set of doubles. And maybe that could be a good video for the future. Let me know if you guys would like to see that, because I could definitely put together a video on that. Obviously, I wouldn't be teaching it because what the heck do I know? But I can get somebody who is experienced who could share those tips with you all. So let me know in the comments. I have a couple more things here, but I am gonna sign off. It was a really fun day. I'm super tired. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get more from the Azul Unlimited community, you can join us on Patreon. And if you wanna go diving with me on one of my expeditions, check out what's coming up on my website. I'd love to see you there. Okay, love you, bye. I can't with today, you guys. Cheers. My black water holding tank overflowed last night. Oh, that's so gross. I wasn't expecting it to fill up quite so fast. I just went ahead and arranged a pump out service. They're gonna be coming to my boat, and I've scheduled them to actually come every other week. I'm gonna see how that works. In theory, I could take my boat to places and pump it out myself. I just know that in the wintertime, it's probably going to be hard for me to get out, and I don't want this to ever happen again. One, because I learned that I have a vent that goes off the side, and when it overflows, it goes out of the boat. Like only a little bit, because I heard it and I was like, oh, that's not good. But also, too, it's really gross. I've learned that I have a leak, so I've got a gross situation in my bathroom at the moment. It's not horrific, which I think 3 years of van life have trained me for this moment, but it's not pleasant. It's not, it's really not. So all of these boats have these little plates where you can fill, this is my fuel, so that's for diesel. And then over here, this is to pump out, that's for waste. I'm really hoping that the pump out service can tell me exactly how many gallons I can hold here so that I know, because again, 3 years of van life have trained me. I know how much waste is normal for me. So if I know the amount in gallons, I will be able to judge better. Living on a boat is great. It's glamorous. Wow, that was fast.